Welcome to Healthy by George. I want you to know that this is for informational purposes only, and it should not be considered as medical advice, nor does it have anything related to my employer. So it's always best for you to check with your own medical provider before you do anything that I recommend or for any medical treatments. So please join me, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Hi, it's me, MC of Healthy by George, and today's episode is all about acupuncture and the 3 types of acupuncture that I've tried. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and if you feel like it, click the bell so that you know for when every episode comes out. I would appreciate it. Acupuncture. I think a lot of people, when they think of acupuncture, they think of needles. I know I have a couple of friends who are afraid of needles, and I can understand that. But when you see really how thin and small these needles are, it's not such a big deal. I mean, they're like a little bit bigger than the size of a strand of hair. And every time I go into an acupuncture session, I have never had any real pain. Sometimes I'll have like a little kind of electrical jolt. Maybe if I'm feeling overtly stiff or just a small sense of like a prick, but it's gone so fast that I can hardly feel it. So what is acupuncture? Acupuncture is considered part of Chinese medicine. And the goal is to open up certain areas or meridians. That means like some kind of a pathway. The Chinese pathways along the body, and it's a kind of complicated system, which I don't really understand because I think they talk about dampness a lot. But basically, there's a series of meridians throughout our body that they can target where we can open up this flow of what's called chee. It's the energy force that's in all of us. And I have to say, I have an acupuncture session every single month. And it's like my body knows that I'm ready for another acupuncture session. You know, I have arthritis, I have fatigue, I have stress. You know, all of these things are kind of chronic in my life. And every time I have an acupuncture session, I feel so much better. And when my husband was alive, he would have an acupuncture session every other week. And for him, it kept his gout at bay, which is a type of arthritis. He never had to take gout medicine when he was getting acupuncture. It made him feel more, I think, clear-minded, less fatigue, less stressed, because he was dealing with multiple sclerosis, which is challenging, I think, from a mental perspective, because every single day you wake up and you don't know what you're going to be confronted with when it comes to your body moving, your mind thinking, and what you're capable of doing. So I know that the acupuncture helped him until he passed away in 2015. And I've just continued to have acupuncture well past that, except I've gone to like once a month because, you know, that I don't have any chronic illnesses except like the standard things, you know. And it has been so beneficial for my mood, for my sense of well-being, for my fatigue, for my stress, for my digestive system, for my pain. So, you know, acupuncture is truly a wonderful component for your wellness. And I didn't know that Medicare covers like 9 to 12 sessions if you were diagnosed with chronic low back pain. So if you're someone who has Medicare, you should really look into that if you have chronic low back pain, because acupuncture really does help. It helps a lot. Now, it's a subtle art, and so will you get relief right away? No, I think you have to keep engaging in acupuncture frequent enough that you can really start to see the buildup of your body constantly releasing and letting go and letting the energy flow. So I think some people don't feel so aligned with the concept of chi and this flowing of energy, But we're electrical beings. Our nerve endings are very electrical like. We have like this wiring that runs through our whole body. And so it makes sense to me. I think, meanwhile, the other type of acupuncture that I have explored, it's not with my regular acupuncturist, but there's something called electroacupuncture. Now, this is where you have two needles inserted into that meridian area, and basically you are getting a very low electrical current that flows into those meridians. Again, the concept is to broaden that kind of stimulation to allow the energy of your body to flow or become unstuck. And truly, even with medicine that's being done today with TENS units, there's a good bit of research out there that shows that using an electrical stimulation can be something that kind of disrupts this kind of pain messaging that goes from our brain to our nerve endings. So, electroacupuncture, which is kind of weird looking when you see the pictures of these, it looks like someone has hooked up a car battery to these little teeny needles and it's running a very low current. And I think people could get a little fearful of that, but the current is so low and these needles are going into these meridians, and you really should only try this with certified practitioners that use this and have experience and education and are doing this in a trusted context of practice that you are familiar with. I think that's what makes it worthwhile. And I have seen it when you've got bad low back pain and you go and do some of this electroacupuncture. It can be a real game changer for pain relief. Now, how frequent you have to do it and how, intensive, or what the needles are, the meridians, that's a discussion you can have with the practitioner. But I think it's worth looking into if you think that you have, sufficient chronic low back pain or shoulder pain or knee pain, anything that has, pain as a part of it. That's where I would go and try some what's called electroacupuncture. I think the other thing that I was very curious about when I had it done was what's called moxie or moxibustion acupuncture. So what is that? So this is where an herb called mugwort. This herb called mugwort is made into like a little cone. And what some practitioners do is they set the cone on top of the needles and they light the cone and let it burn into the needle to increase the heat. Again, it's sort of that kind of idea, except with mugwort, it is sort of a herb that's well known in the medicinal practices of various cultures to help with chronic pain, digestion, menstrual cramps. And so it's often used. And so here it's being used in combination with acupuncture. They either set the cone on top of it or there's these mugwort sticks. And so they will light that and touch it to those specific areas where maybe a little more heat or an intensification of the energy being released to a wider area to help with pain release, of letting that energy get flowing more freely. And also too, the aromatherapy of it. It has this amazingly earthy smell. It is, I found it very like frankincense, maybe that kind of a smell of an incense. So it has like this very pleasant experience. I think sometimes people who've had what they call direct mugwort moxibustion is where they take and they put the cone actually on the skin and let it burn down until it kind of touches the skin and warms the skin. I don't know if I would go for that. I think the other way is where they don't use acupuncture needles, but they use the same meridians and they put something like salt or garlic or ginger between the skin and the mugwort cone to get that warming sensation into that meridian area. So, Again, these are all what's considered part of traditional Chinese medicine, which is very different from Western medicine. But in the research that's been done on these practices, there is some benefit that has been seen, especially when it comes to chronic pain or stress relief or anxiety relief. So to me, it's worthwhile if you are in a vicinity where there are well-known practitioners who are certified in these types of treatments, or people who've had these types of treatments. I think you should explore it, because truly, the more that we can incorporate other things, other ideas about our body, that we are an energetic being, and that acupuncture brings a treatment approach that is about releasing energy, getting your body to flow, getting whatever is feeling stuck. Because sometimes that's what pain feels like. It feels like your joint is stuck, or it feels like your body is stiff and won't move in that direction. So why don't you join me and explore some acupuncture? Maybe doing something like moxibustion acupuncture, or the electro acupuncture is not quite up your alley, but it's worth a try. I'm not somebody who likes to go and have surgery. I've had surgery before, and it's not a great experience. I don't know about you, but I like to avoid surgeries if I can. And, having joint replacements is not a simple task. It has very challenging surgical procedures and side effects, and then there's this rehab component. If you can somehow incorporate a lifestyle that has alternative methods and treatments that can help you live better, help you deal with pain better, and work towards having a healthier, functional, as pain-free as we can be. And I think that's what we all desire. So be well, my friends. We have this one special life. Let's live it with fullness and thriving, so that we have longevity on our side. I'll see you every Sunday and Thursday. Bye-bye. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.